Welcome to Wisdom Corner, your one-stop destination for thought-provoking insights, profound wisdom, and life-changing knowledge. We are thrilled to have you here as a part of our growing community of seekers and learners. Our channel is dedicated to exploring the depths of wisdom, personal growth, and self-discovery. Whether you're looking to expand your horizons, find inspiration, or simply engage in meaningful conversations, you're in the right place. Join us on this incredible journey of enlightenment, where we aim to empower you with the wisdom that can transform your life. So, without further ado, let's dive into the world of knowledge and embark on a voyage of self-improvement together. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with our latest content. Welcome aboard. Let's discuss about Michel Foucault, a French philosopher. Michel Foucault was born on October 15, 196, in Poitiers, France. His childhood was marked by several significant events and experiences that would later influence his intellectual development. Here are some key aspects of his childhood. Early family life. Foucault came from a prosperous and educated family. His father, Paul-André Foucault, was a successful surgeon, and his mother, Anne Malapert, came from a wealthy background. He had two younger siblings, a brother named Denis and a sister named Francine. World War II. Foucault's childhood was heavily impacted by World War II. He lived through the German occupation of France during the war, which had a lasting impact on his understanding of power and authority. These experiences later influenced his work on the relationship between knowledge, power, and social institutions. Education. Foucault was a bright student from an early age. He excelled in school and eventually pursued higher education. He attended the Lycée Henri IV in Paris and later studied at the École Normale Supérieure, a prestigious institution known for producing many prominent French intellectuals. Early interests. During his childhood and adolescence, Foucault showed an interest in literature, philosophy, and psychology. He was particularly drawn to the works of Friedrich Nietzsche, whose ideas would become influential in his later writings. Personal struggles. Foucault also struggled with his own identity and sexuality during his youth. His experiences as a gay man in a society that was often hostile to homosexuality influenced his later writings on sexuality and the societal construction of sexual norms. Foucault's childhood experiences, including his exposure to war, his family's social status, and his early intellectual interests, played a significant role in shaping his later work as a philosopher, historian, and social theorist. His exploration of power, knowledge, and the construction of social norms can be traced back to his formative years and the cultural and historical context in which he grew up. Michel Foucault had complex and evolving thoughts on philosophy throughout his career. His views can be understood through several key themes and shifts in his thinking. Archaeology of knowledge. In his early work, particularly in The Archaeology of Knowledge, 1969, Foucault introduced the idea of an archaeology of knowledge. He argued that traditional histories of ideas and philosophy often focused on the development of coherent and progressive systems of thought, but he sought to challenge this approach. Foucault proposed analyzing knowledge in terms of discontinuities and ruptures, looking at the ways in which different epistemes, systems of knowledge, emerged and disappeared over time. This approach questioned the notion of a stable philosophical tradition. Power and knowledge. Foucault's later works, especially in the 1970s and 1980s, emphasized the interplay between power and knowledge. He argued that knowledge is not a neutral and objective pursuit but is deeply intertwined with systems of power and social control. Foucault explored how various forms of knowledge, such as scientific knowledge, medical knowledge, and psychiatric knowledge, were used to exercise power and to categorize and control individuals and populations. Critique of the subject. Foucault challenged the traditional notion of the autonomous and unified subject, which had been a central concept in Western philosophy. He argued that the subject is constructed and shaped by discourses of power and knowledge. His work on the genealogy of the subject revealed how various forms of subjectivity have been historically produced and controlled by societal norms and institutions. Ethics of the Self. In his later writings, particularly in The Care of the Self and The Use of Pleasure, Foucault turned to questions of ethics and the self. He explored how individuals can engage in practices of self-transformation and self-care in a world where power-knowledge relations are pervasive. These writings examined ancient philosophical and ethical traditions, such as Stoicism and Epicureanism, to provide insights into how individuals can resist oppressive power structures and cultivate their own ethical practices. Political engagement. Foucault's work often had a political dimension, but he resisted being labeled as a traditional political philosopher. Instead, he was interested in the practical implications of his ideas for understanding and challenging contemporary power structures, including those related to institutions like prisons, mental asylums, and hospitals. His critiques of social institutions were influential in fields such as critical theory and sociology. Foucault's thoughts on philosophy evolved over time, and his work continues to be a subject of debate and interpretation. His ideas have had a profound impact on a wide range of disciplines, including philosophy, sociology, cultural studies, and political theory, and continue to be influential in discussions of power, knowledge, and subjectivity. Michel Foucault's philosophy has had a significant impact on the world in a variety of ways, influencing numerous fields and sparking important debates. Here are some of the key areas where his ideas have left a lasting mark. Critical theory and social sciences. Foucault's work has been instrumental in the development of critical theory and social sciences. His emphasis on power, knowledge, and the social construction of reality has influenced scholars in fields such as sociology, anthropology, cultural studies, and political science. His ideas have been used to analyze and critique social institutions, discourses, and power structures. Gender and sexuality studies. Foucault's writings on sexuality and the construction of sexual identities have been particularly influential in the development of gender and sexuality studies. Scholars in this field have drawn on his concepts of power, discipline, and the history of sexuality to analyze and challenge traditional norms and understandings of gender and sexuality. Postmodernism and poststructuralism. Foucault is often associated with postmodernism and poststructuralism, intellectual movements that challenge traditional notions of truth, objectivity, and grand narratives. His critique of fixed categories and his emphasis on the contingency of knowledge have resonated with postmodern and poststructural thinkers, contributing to the broader intellectual shifts in these movements. Ethics and self-care. Foucault's later works, which explored ethics and self-care, have had an impact on contemporary discussions of ethics and self-identity. His writings on the cultivation of the self and practices of self-care have influenced discussions of personal ethics, mindfulness, and self-help. Criminal justice and prisons. Foucault's examination of power and discipline has had a profound impact on the field of criminal justice and prison studies. His critique of the prison system as a mechanism of social control and his analysis of the history of punishment have been influential in efforts to reform the criminal justice system and advocate for alternatives to incarceration. Education and pedagogy. Foucault's ideas on education and pedagogy have been taken up by scholars and educators interested in the relationship between knowledge, power, and teaching. His work has influenced discussions on the politics of education, critical pedagogy, and the role of education in reproducing social norms. Art and aesthetics. Foucault's ideas have also found their way into discussions of art and aesthetics. His concepts of authorship, discourse, and the relationship between art and power have been used to analyze and interpret works of literature, film, and visual art. 8. Political activism. Foucault's critique of power and his emphasis on resistance have inspired political activists and social movements. His work has been cited by activists advocating for social justice, LGBTQ+ rights, and various forms of resistance against oppressive systems. It's important to note that Foucault's ideas have been interpreted and applied in diverse ways, and his work continues to be the subject of debate and discussion. While some view his philosophy as a source of valuable insights and tools for critique, others have criticized aspects of his thought, including concerns about relativism and the potential for his ideas to be used to justify authoritarianism. Nevertheless, there's no denying that Foucault's philosophy has left a lasting imprint on intellectual and social discourse worldwide. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it informative, entertaining, or helpful in some way. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from us. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, take care, and as always, stay curious. Thanks for watching.